Hello, my name is Constance. Thanks for joining me on my podcast today, Philly Autism and Advocacy podcast. Okay, awesome. So, first, I just want to start off by saying that I started this podcast to push for a start to start, a public school for children with autism in Philadelphia. I have the link right here, change.org, Philly Public School for Autism. And I would encourage everyone to please go to that link. I'll also put it in the description box so that you can sign if you have a child on the spectrum or if you are in another state and you have a child that goes to a public school for children with autism, you just want to write about it, leave a comment, anything like that. I would really appreciate that. Yeah. So I had put another video. If people want to look at that, in the previous video, it was how to get a handicap card for your car if you have a child with special needs or who has autism. So in that video, I said I was going to do another video for how to get a home health aide / nurse in the home if you need the help. So this is something that I didn't know until last year until June around last year I found out about the nurse aide, and then in October I found out about the home health aide, and they are both different. So in this video, I'm just going to explain how you can get one. So and the first topic is going to be, why do you need a home health aide? What the reason could be for you to have one. The second one will be the difference between a home health aide and a nurse aide, because there is a difference. Third subject is going to be the process that we're going to go over, talking about doctor's office through insurance to the agency. And then we're going to go over the benefits of having a home health agency and the important things to just note about having it, like I guess kind of the pros and cons. Okay, so why do I need a home health agency here? I'm looking down because I have a book here because I like to write little notes. So if you have a struggle with employment, I'm on a lot of different Facebook group pages, so I've seen parents that already have this. So I know some parents who work from home but have a home health aide or a nurse aide in the home, pretty much looking out for the child while they are working, which is pretty nice. And I didn't know that that was something that could be provided if you struggle sleeping because of your child's different special needs. If you needed respite but you haven't been able to receive it, if you have multiple therapists, and if your child elopes. So these are just reasons why I would say to a doctor um, why you need a home health aide. So to get a home health aide, you have to go to a doctor to get a letter of medical necessity to do that. And for me, when I went to one of the doctors in October and I told them about all the different doctor's appointments I take Austin to and just all the different things that I do by myself, she's the one that suggested getting an aide. And I was just like, oh, that's a great idea. Um, but the reasons why she suggested that were because of some of the things that I just kind of said on this list. So if these things apply to you, then you may want to go to the doctor. You can call and ask, or you can schedule a well visit and talk to them about it, because those are the people that you're going to have to go to. So the difference between a home health aide and a nurse, I didn't know this, so I had like kind of a juggling sort of thing. But a home health aide is someone who comes in and can help out with the child. A nurse is someone that is a registered nurse. So if you have a child that is on the autism spectrum but doesn't have, let's say, medication or medical issues, then they probably will not qualify for a nurse aide, but they probably will qualify for the home health aide. My son has epilepsy, so for me, I can more so qualify for both because of the things that he needs with him having epilepsy. But I would only know he has epilepsy because I took him to see a neurologist and I took him through all the steps to find out that he has focal seizures. So the seizures that he has are not seizures that are grand mal or something that most people see. So there are studies out there that shows that there's a link between children on the spectrum and children who have epilepsy. So I just wanted to let some people know that, just in case they have children on the spectrum and they think that may be something that they should look into. So a nurse aide, you can have a child that has different disabilities that may not necessarily be connected to autism but still have disabilities. So you may want to get the nurse aide, especially if your child has medication and needs certain things that the aide would need to do over time that a home health aide is not registered or not licensed to do. I guess not certified to do is the better word. Okay, so the process. I'm going to take you through the process. I'm going to make this video hopefully around like 10 minutes or so. So the process would be to call the doctor or go to the doctor, explain your situation about your child and about what you feel like you need. If you feel like you need a home health aide, say that. Now, I will say this, I got into a situation where I did both because I didn't know that there was a difference. And I have a neurologist and a primary doctor. And for me, it was just whoever can do it sooner, I just need it. But down the line, I realized that I'd rather have the home health aide, and I'll tell you why. So now that's what I'm dealing with right now. So you'll go to the doctor, explain that, or you can call them if they already know your situation. Like if you have a good relationship with your doctor, like I do with my son's neurologist, then you can just call. You don't have to do a scheduled doctor's appointment. So you would ask them for the letter of medical necessity for a home health aide or a nurse aide. And then you would get the fax insurance number, or to be completely honest, depending on what type of, like if it's somewhere like CHOP or something and you have certain type of health insurance, they probably already have the fax number. But if you need to, then just already get the fax number ahead of time so that just in case they do this and they say like, oh, we didn't have the fax number. Okay, well, here's the fax number. So you want to make sure that you do stuff like that. So yeah, you want to call the insurance and you want to let them know that you're asking your doctor to write a letter of medical necessity and that they should look out for this. And then you can ask them for the fax number just so that you have it too. Okay, so you're going to ask your doctor's office, and this is really important because this is something I feel like we all end up struggling with, especially if you have to struggle like being somewhat of a caregiver slash scheduler for your child versus or and also having a job. So if you're doing both, then those are two jobs. So it's hard to like juggle both and you lose track of things. So if you can, you should write down when you contact people and who you talk to. So if you call the doctor's office on January the 1st, you're going to ask that, and you're going to call the care coordinator too, because they're the people that ultimately write the letter and then they get the doctors to sign it. So I just called the care coordinator and I'll tell them, hey, I need this letter of medical necessity. You want to ask them how many days does it take, to write the letter, get the doctor to sign it, and then send it. Some will say like maybe 12 days, 14 days, whatever they'll say. So if I did it January 1st on January the 14th, by then I would expect them to have already sent it off or sent it off that day. So on the 15th, you can call the insurance company and see like, hey, did you guys receive this documentation? If they say no, then you can call the doctor's office and say, hey, they didn't receive this document. Can you guys send it? Because a lot of times if you're not on top of it, then that it may not happen as quickly as you think. And then all of a sudden 14 days turns into a month. And then you're like, okay, this is a month to just get the letter of medical necessity. I still have to put it through the insurance and do all those things. So you definitely want to follow up with the care coordinator and get her name. So, and I'm saying her because most of the time when I'm doing this, it's a woman. So, which is funny. So yeah. So the next thing you can do is you can call an agency. You can call around agencies and see if they have home health aides or nurse aides for children. I did not know this was a thing until, like I said recently, I thought home health aides were and nurse aides were for older people, but it can be for people with disabilities as well, like in people with autism. So you can call an agency, call them around, say, hey, I already talked to a doctor. I've already talked to insurance. This is something, because the thing is, you may or may not get approved. So everything I'm telling you still has to get approved by insurance, but you can still call ahead of time to at least let an agency know or call agencies around. Once you get approved, your insurance will most likely give you some agencies, but if you already like no one, then you're already ahead of the game. So the benefits of having a home health aide. I believe with most insurances, you can only, like, you have to reinstate it or get a doctor to write another one every 6 months, I believe. So it's not like you can get this and have it up until your child is 18. So it's about 6 months. And the best part about having a home health aide is you can get anyone to do it because they don't have to have a medical background. So if you have someone in your family that you trust, like I know for me, trust is a huge thing. So if I can find someone that I trust with my child, I would much rather get the home health aide, because then I have someone that I know that will be with my child that I trust. So that's nice about the home health aide. Once again, if you get a nurse aide and say you want to get someone you know, they would have to be a nurse. Yeah. So, but if your child has certain medical issues, then you would want the nurse aide, regardless of like whether or not you know that person. If you know your child needs certain things that the people around you can't do because they're not qualified, then get the nurse aide. But in my situation, I know that I can get either one, but I can do home health aide. Um, so it's important to note though that the home health aides and the nurse aides are not teachers. Like they're not there to teach your child. They are there to like assist, go places with you guys, make sure the child doesn't leave the house like elope, stuff of that nature. But they're not there to be a teacher. So if you want a more, I guess, academic sort of environment, then looking into a behavioral health facility would be the best thing to look into. And I know I did a video here with Jessica, who's an ABA therapist. So they do have BHTs and ABAs that can come to the home. And right now I have an ABA, or I believe a BHT, behavioral health technician, that comes to the home about 40 hours a week. So that's not a home health aide, that's just that. And she concentrates on speaking to all the therapists, and she also concentrates on behavior regulation and emotional regulation and things of that nature that a home health aide isn't trained to do. So, and you can have both. Like, who's going to say you can't? So you want to get as much help as you are allowed to get, because sometimes you may not get a whole lot of ABA hours and you may get a whole lot of home health aide hours. But either way, it's having people be able to come to the home and help. And they can also go places with you. So the nurse aide and the home health aide can go to doctor's appointments with you, can go to, the grocery store, do things of that nature. It's just important to note, at least in my opinion, that they may not be experts on autism or the spectrum. So to me, they're really just there to help overall with the functionality of life for the family. But the ABA therapists and DHT, I mean, they're also there for the same reason, but they're more trained to understand certain things with your child because of maybe what they may have going on. And I know my therapist connects with all my son's other therapists, like his speech therapist, his OT, his PT, to make sure that when they do come to the house, that they're set up, that Austin's getting the things that he needs. So that covers that. So, but once again, that's something you get from a behavioral health facility. That's not a home health aide or a nurse aide. So yeah, and like I said, you can end up having both. You have a home health aide, nurse aide / nurse aide in the house for 40 hours a week, and then you can get the ABA BHT in the house for say end up 20 hours a week, and both be covered by insurance, but they are different things. So the behavioral health facility, I believe you can go on Google and like type in behavioral health facility or possibly mental health facility. And I know in Philadelphia, I think it's CBH, and you can call, and I think they do an assessment, and they'll come to the home and ask questions and see how long they have to be there. So for that, they like assess your child and see what the child needs, and that's how they tell you the hours. With the home health aide and nurse aide, it goes by what the doctor is saying you need, which is ultimately what you tell the care coordinator you need. So if you work at home 40 hours a week and your child is home, or it's difficult for you to sleep, or you need certain things because of what's going on, your child leaves the house, then you're telling the care coordinator, I need 40 hours a week so that I can work, and they're writing that on the medical necessity. And then that goes to insurance, and the insurance will decide whether or not they want to cover it. So you also can appeal if they deny it. So they can deny it, you can appeal it, and then after that, I believe you can appeal it again. And then after that, I believe you can go to like an agency to get someone. So my thing is, if you really want to get it done, like you can possibly figure out how to get it done. And then also, like I said in other videos, it does also matter about the doctor. So you get a certain type of doctor, then you may get a certain, result in the matter. If you get a doctor that doesn't understand your situation, or a care coordinator that doesn't understand what you're trying to say, then they may write things that insurance will be like, okay, well, this isn't enough for me to want to give you this, even if that is the situation, because that happens. And then that's what appeals are for. But then that's also why it's good to have specialists and other doctors to back up what you were saying if that is what you need. So if you just have a primary care doctor and you're asking for this letter of medical necessity for the home health aide slash nurse aide, and they're like, well, what do you really need it for? And then you're like, okay, well, his neurologist and I have talked about this. So this is something that we believe would really help. You can do that because the neurologist may feel like if she writes a note, she may ask for, I guess, the nurse aide because neurologist epilepsy, even though she could technically write the home health aide part. But the point being is if you go to your primary and you have other therapists or stuff that are also suggesting this, then that probably helps them want to do it even more. Okay, so in the next video, I'm probably going to try to get someone on here to talk about BHT, ABA, like applied behavior analysis. There's just so many things within that I don't really fully understand, that I know I can have someone come here and help explain a lot better than I can. So I may do a video explaining like how I got Austin's BHT here in the house, to work with him and how she comes to doctor's appointments with us and stuff like that. Or I may wait until I can get a professional to help me out with that. But all right, so thank you everybody for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my video or to my channel. And please like this video. Also, if you can sign my petition, that is why I have this page. That's why I share this information, to advocate for children with autism, but to also raise awareness to the politicians in Philadelphia, to just everyone in Philadelphia, that this is something that is necessary. This school for children with autism is something that happens in other states, and it is something that can happen here if we fight for it. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys found it helpful. All right.